This is a First Defense weather alert.
And welcome back in. It's 3:04 on this Thursday afternoon. I'm Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter with another update on the lake effect snow that is impacting the area right now. So here it is on radar. You can see that we have a double box going. So in the box with the radar behind me, you're seeing radar. In the box over here is Sean Sweatman in the storm interceptor. He is back out again this afternoon. And the last we heard, he was on 62. Is that correct? Yes, okay, so he's on Route 62. We just seen, of course, you know, we have this potted up here, and we've seen a pretty good whiteout just a couple of minutes ago, and that is in association with these lake effect bands that are moving on through. And again, as we've been telling you all day, the widespread snow is done and over with. It is now turning into this lake effect snow that's impacting parts of the southern tier. And what's happening here is, again, we've been hinting all week that the snow with the lake ice virtually non-existent. There's virtually no ice on Lake Erie. That was spelling big time trouble for the snow here. We'll zoom you right into the essentially, you know, southern southeastern, the western portion of the southern tier. We're all running on limited sleep here. But you can see here there's a good lake effect band that kind of jogged south of Jamestown, and then now it's kind of moved back up to the north again. And there's obviously snow impacting out here in parts of Cat County, north of Randolph, going into Little Valley, and ultimately Olean out there. And this snow is going to continue through the afternoon. It is going to pick up in intensity, and the winds will also continue to be strong as well. Let's take Sean Sweatman's live stream full if we can. If we have that ability, that'd be great. And we might have just lost his oh, there it is. One of the things that you'll notice with Sean is his live stream will drop in and out. And that is because, as you know, if you've lived here for a while, you know that this area is very rural. And once you get away from the big cities, you do run into some issues with cell data. But again, if his live stream drops, it'll come right back. And we also should mention as well that anytime Sean is out, you can, of course, view his live stream on his Facebook page, Chautauqua Weather Today. And he's out a lot doing storm chasing for us. And you know, the thing that we sometimes we forget to say, but we should say it, is that Sean is trained to do this. Sean's been trained for a long time. He knows what he's doing. He's not going to put himself in danger. He's not going to put anybody else in danger. He has a lot of equipment on board his truck. He knows what he's doing. He's got the same single site radar products we look at here in the office. He's got a lot of gear on board that thing, and he knows exactly what he's doing. So we always encourage you, don't go out and storm chase unless you've had the proper training, because even in the winter you can get into some trouble with slick road conditions. So again, here's the radar for you. This is now on the live sweep here, and you can see here again, these are the bands of lake effect snow, moderate in intensity. The overall intensity isn't too high. It's really the winds that's blowing a lot of this around, and that's really going to become the big factor through the afternoon and into tonight. Trying to pull up our live stream here so that way I can check comments here. And the one thing we should do at one point is we need to share my computer screen at some point to kind of show you all the things. I've got like 45 different windows open here, trying to multitask between everything here. Ron Edwards says, hey there, Route 86 is closed west of Jamestown due to an accident. We just pushed that out on the app just a couple of minutes ago. That 86 is closed out there as well. And thanks to our magical producers, we now have an iPad, but I already have it up here, but I'll keep it anyway. We can have two iPads open here because I have the other one here for the other radar source. But anyway, what you're looking at here behind me is radar getting serious again. So this is the radar here. Again, it's mainly these pockets of lake effect. The snowfall intensity is not really too bad. It's mainly the wind. That is the main issue, blowing a lot of the snow around. And this will continue through the day, tonight, and then it'll continue into tomorrow. Let's hop over to the graphics system, and we'll show you the watches and warnings. Not a whole lot has changed since noon when we were on the air. Right now, the blizzard warning stays in effect until 4 p.m. and I kind of want to explain this because there's been a lot of discrepancy about why this blizzard warning was issued. It is not issued. A blizzard does not mean 25 inches of snow. That's not what a blizzard means, or 25 feet of snow. That's what people think of as a blizzard. A blizzard warning, technically a blizzard is defined as snow with wind. And when you have these gusty winds like we have today, it's not going to take much to blow the snow around. You can see on Sean's live stream there that the winds are really blowing the snow around, and that is making for hazardous travel. And we might have lost this stream. Again, Sean might have hit an area, a dead zone with cell coverage. But again, you can see all these counties shaded in red. That is the blizzard warning. Stays in effect until 4 p.m. tomorrow. The lake effect snow warning stays in effect until 6 p.m. Saturday for Erie and Crawford counties. And winter weather advisory for Warren County reissued, and that will go to tonight. So here are the current temperatures right now as we stand right now. And again, at noon, we kind of showed this off. We now have the ability to show, there his live stream is back. But right here at noon today, we kind of showed this off, that we have the ability to show temperatures from the New York State Mesonet. So all the towns here that are colored in orange is essentially a Mesonet site. A Mesonet is basically a big gigantic network of local weather observations. All these update every 5 minutes. So right now it's 19 in Jamestown. Temperature really hasn't budged much today. This might be our high for today, quite frankly. 23 in Mayville, 24 in Fredonia, 20 in Clymer, 25 Dunkirk, 24 in Brant. 20 in Randolph, and I got to scooch off the edge of the screen, 19 in Olean. So those are the temperatures, but the winds are really the big factor. So these are the current wind gusts, 32 miles per hour at the Jamestown airport. Again, 4 miles per hour in Mayville, not buying that. The sensor's broken on that, I believe. 45 miles per hour in Fredonia, 39 Dunkirk, 36 Clymer, 36 at the Erie airport, and 32 over in Olean. So that's mainly the big deal that we're looking at here. And again, you can see on Sean's live stream, the snow is not too bad, but again, every now and then you're going to see Sean getting into one of those localized lake bands. And one of the things we often say is lake effect snow is localized. That is the main thing with snow. You could go from 1 mile to looking not bad to going another mile with very horrible with winds blowing it around and heavy snowfall. So again, that is Sean Sweatman's live stream. And if we can, let's take me and Link's one full screen, and we'll show you the additional snowfall totals. This is what we're expecting through Saturday. Now, please keep in mind, the blizzard warning goes until 4 p.m. tomorrow, but the lake effect snow will continue through Saturday. So this is what we're looking at here. When you get into this dark pink strip right in here, we're looking at about 8 to 12 inches, but please keep in mind, we say this all the time, you really have to focus on these lower numbers, not the highest number. It's a range for a reason, but most everybody, this is a good enough range based on the data and the confidence we have. This will likely verify here another 8, 9, 10 inches here. Again, once you work up into the hills of maybe, southern Erie County and the hills of Cat County, I would not be a bit surprised if that maximum range of 12 inches is just a tiny bit underdone, but we'll see on that. But I think 8 to 12 is a good maximum range. 7 to 10 across the lower elevations, 5 to 8 once you drop further south and east. Obviously, as you lose the lake connection, you will start to see lesser totals. But you can see where the lake effect snow will be mainly setting up, where it's going to be focusing, right in these dark color strips right here. That is going to be the best shot for seeing any additional accumulation. Let me see.
Dakota, if I
Yes,
can chime in here for just a second. I don't have my IFB on yet, but I wanted to let everyone know, hello, Justin Gould here with WNY News Now, that the county has issued a code blue warning just moments ago that we got in. And what that means is that folks who maybe don't have a warm place to stay, they could get an immediate assistance from people and from law enforcement agencies. And the easiest way to do that, according to the county from a press release we just got, is by calling 911, and they can help people who are not able to get warm. Now, there are various warming shelters, and we'll have a list of them here on WNY News Now's .com, but just some early ones. The County Health and Human Services Office in Dunkirk on Central Avenue, that will be open until 4:30 today if people need it, and again, after the business hours are closed, you can get further assistance from them. The office in Jamestown and in Mayville also open until 4:30 today. You can visit there. Also, places like the Dunkirk Library, the Fluvanna Library, the Hazeltine Library, the James Prendergast Library here in Jamestown, all great sites that people can get warm. And for maybe those some of our homeless population, for men, the UCAN City Mission here in Jamestown, according to county officials, are also taking male adults who want a place to stay warm. You can give them a call at 488-7480. And again, for anyone else, especially I would imagine rural areas, Dakota, people can just simply call 911 if there is someone who's in need of an immediate assistance. The county says through Code Blue, they have resources available for those people.
Yeah, and Code Blue is a really good thing to have, especially for those. I mean, we have to remember too, it's winter, so it's going to get really cold out. Wanted to go through some of the snowfall reports that we got in from the National Weather Service. This was updated just within the last hour. These snowfall totals came in. For those that are not aware, we are essentially in a real-time chat session with the National Weather Service in both we are in real-time chat sessions. I need a nap. We are in real-time chat sessions with the National Weather Service in Buffalo State College in Cleveland, and the Buffalo Weather Service has put out new snowfall totals here. So the highest snowfall total right now is in Cattaraugus at 7 inches on the nose in the town of Cattaraugus, 3 inches in Little Valley, 3 inches in Randolph, 4.4 inches in Gary, 3.7 inches 4 miles east-northeast of Jamestown, 2 inches in Falconer, 1.7 inches in Dunkirk, 1.5 in Fredonia. The heaviest amounts of the snow right now looks to be between the Buffalo metro area and going out towards Lake Ontario. That's where the heaviest amounts of the snow is. But down in our area, those are the totals that we've got in so far. And of course, we always encourage you to take totals from, essentially wherever you are. Snow varies across the area. Take a yardstick, find a level piece of ground, stick the yardstick down in there, measure what you got. It's not one of the most, it's not really the way you're supposed to measure snow, but it gets the point across. Technically, you're supposed to have a board, you're supposed to wipe it off and every day, but those who've gone through spotter training knows that. But for the average Joe Q public, find a level piece of ground that's not hilly, that's not doing this, just level, flat. Stick a yardstick in it, measure it, send us a picture, and that'll be our, because, we call you our weather eyes for a reason, because you're out there. So here we go with radar once again. In the other box, you're seeing Sean Sweatman in the Storm Interceptor. He is traveling on 62, I believe was the last report we got from his location. And what you're looking at in my box is live First Defense Doppler radar, and you can see these lake effect snow bands continuing across the southern tier. And the point that we're making here is that these lake snow bands really are not as intense as we had originally thought. What's likely happening here is, we're going to peg the geek meter for a segment. Of course, at the National Weather Service in Buffalo, they do what's called the balloon launches. That's, of course, how we collect data from above the ground. It's called the Upper Air Program. And they're normally launched twice a day, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. But because of this storm, the Weather Service launched a special balloon, and the sounding on that is in. And it is showing that there is a capping inversion that is going on at the Buffalo airport, which is where they launched this. So what all that means in a simple form is it's kind of limiting some of the lake effect snow. When you have a capping inversion, when the air temperature is actually warmer than the air around it, essentially when air parcels are warmer than the air around it, you can't rise anymore, you actually start to fall down. And what ends up happening is that likely is kind of limiting the lake effect snow. Hopefully I didn't melt your brain with the Peg the Geek Meter segment. But again, let's take Sean's live stream full here, because now he looks like he's getting into a good band of lake effect snow here. And again, it's mainly the winds that's really whipping this around today. And that's really been the big story here. Remember, a blizzard is not technically classified as having 45 feet of snow. That's not a blizzard. Blizzard conditions mean wind chill, wind, and snow. All three characteristics must be met in order for it to be classified as a blizzard. This really isn't a blizzard per se, because this is a lake effect event, but it has blizzard characteristics in the fact that the winds are strong enough to produce near whiteouts or complete whiteouts in spots. So that's why traveling is really going to be hazardous. And of course, if you've lived here for a long time, you know the deal with lake effect. It is so localized that you could go from 1 mile where you have this going on, and then at a mile, the sun is out. I mean, that's basically how lake effect works, and you need to be ready for that. I mean, it's hard to figure out where those lake effect bands are unless you have your eyes glued to radar while you're driving at the same time, which we don't recommend. Here's a live look from the HD News Now cam in that other box. And just for those of you who might be tuning in for the first time, this camera is located just outside of our studios here in downtown Jamestown. This camera is perched right outside of our studio. We're located in the Spain building downtown on 3rd Street. And so this camera overlooks 3rd Street. The snow has stopped. The snow has stopped. Well, there's a few snowflakes falling there, but for the most part, the snow was a little bit heavier earlier in the day. It's kind of backed off a little bit now, but you can see the main roads are clear. Obviously, the plows have been out, and obviously with traffic going back and forth, that has helped to clear some of the main roads. But the side roads that still have maybe not been treated, that still could be an issue, and it still could be an issue tonight going into tomorrow. What I want to do very quickly is I want to check the comments very quickly. Cindy says sun is out in Kennedy. That's a great example of lake effects. See what I mean? If you're in Kennedy, the sun is likely out and it's not snowing. You go just a few miles north and you've got a lake effect snow band. I mean, that's just how this stuff works. David says, thanks, Dakota. You're welcome. Sun was out in Jamestown before. Indeed it was. We had a few peaks of sunshine across the area before the lake effect snow started to fill back in again. Here's a live look from Sean Sweatman. Again, he's in the Storm Interceptor. He's on 62 right now, and right there, the roads don't look too bad there, but you can still see the snow falling at times. And again, as we've been stressing, it is not so much that the snow is heavy, it is mainly the winds blowing this around, but it could have the potential to become heavier, especially tonight and then early through the day tomorrow. Let's take one more look at live first defense Doppler radar, and you can see here, these are the snow bands that we're talking about here. When you get into this darker blue color right here north of Randolph, that definitely could be some moderate to heavy snow right here, kind of north of Randolph, between Randolph and Cattaraugus and Cat County. So again, there definitely could be some moderate to heavy snowfall within this, but it's mainly the wind issue. And you can see how it's just forming right off Lake Erie, just coming right across the lake and impacting the areas. And again, lake effect is very dependent on the wind direction. And in this case, we have a west. There you go. There's Sean Sweat. There you go. And again, that was an example of a whiteout. When you have those gusty winds, you get a gust of wind and some snow, it makes it hard to see. So that is why traveling, obviously, if you've lived here for a while, you know how winter is around here. But in this case, with the gusty winds that we have today, it is creating some very hazardous driving conditions. Let's take Lynx 1, and we will take a look at the 7-day forecast just one more time to show you here that mainly we're going to be dealing with this through tonight and then tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, the lake effect snow will lessen somewhat, and the winds will also come down along with that. So tomorrow's not likely going to be as terrible as today has been, if it depends on your location on if you want to classify this as terrible. Lake snow continues, though. It starts to reorganize Friday night into Saturday, and it also stays windy as well, but the winds do come down. Sunday, a few leftover scattered lake flakes, but we're still below average. Then, just like clockwork, look at this as we go into early next week. 43 Monday, 51 Tuesday, 49 Wednesday. What is up with this winter? I mean, just look at this. I mean, this is just nuts. I mean, when you look at it. I mean, 22 today to 49 next Wednesday. I don't know. I mean, it is just crazy. I mean, that's just the best way to describe this weather. Raymond says, so far this storm, not too bad here in Jamestown. Joe says Sugar Grove clear. And again, once you drop into northwestern Pennsylvania, especially in Warren County, you're not going to get a whole lot of snow from this, but you will see at least some though. So let's take another look at radar, and again, nothing's really changed. This is just the snow that's coming on through, and again, the darker blues do indicate maybe the heavier amounts of snowfall at this point. But we do want to stress the lake snow could redevelop again, and a lot of the model guidance has been showing some sort of a kind of an intensification to these lake effect bands tonight and then through early tomorrow. So I wouldn't count this storm over as of yet. Of course, the blizzard warning continues until 4 p.m. tomorrow. Of course, should anything change between now and tomorrow at noon, of course, we'll be here keeping you updated on all the latest. It's going to be another sleepless night for all of us in the weather office. We won't be sleeping again tonight, so tomorrow is going to be really fun because when weather people don't sleep for 2 days, some very interesting things happen.
You're doing a great job, Dakota. I'm still here. Another quick tidbit of information while we have everyone. Fredonia has now canceled their travel advisory, which was issued at this late last night for portions of that area. So they have canceled that, and we'll let you know, as Dakota was mentioning, if anything else is reissued. But nevertheless, right now, that's the latest from there. And again, on the code blue, we have a story on WNYNewsNow.com with more on that.
All right, thank you very much, Jay. And what we're going to do right now is we're just going to kind of do a quick little reset for you here, and we're going to get ready to end our coverage here. But just keep in mind that we'll be here all night long, keeping an eye on it, throwing stuff out on social medias. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at HuntersWX, HUNTERSWX. That's how you can find me on Twitter. Justin Gould is at... Hey, Jay, are you still here?
Yeah, I was about to go into the dressing room, but...
Okay, what's your Twitter handle? Isn't it Jay Gould WNY?
Justin Gould WNY.
Okay, so it's Justin Gould WNY. Of course, we're at WNY News Now to get to the main account.
See, I only retweet Dakota. That's all I do.
Mainly. So that's my Twitter account. I'm at HuntersWX, HUNTERSWX, the First Defense Weather page. On Facebook, you can find us by just searching up First Defense Weather on Facebook. Andrew and I update that constantly, so there's always information up on there. The Tweeter, the Face Bag, the Insta Post, all that stuff, if you know Bill Belichick, the Snap Face, all that stuff. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to get ready to wrap up coverage here, but again, we will be here keeping an eye on all this. So again, if you are venturing out, the thing that we want to stress here is if you don't have to go anywhere, just don't, because I just wouldn't want to risk it. But if you are going somewhere, if you have somewhere to go, take it easy, take it slow, be aware conditions can change from within just a couple of miles. If you've lived here, we've gone through lake effect snow before, so just use your winter driving skills, understand that, and just take it easy out there. And if you hit one of these whiteout conditions, just be aware of that, because that definitely is a possibility with the gusty wind. So one final look at radar. This is what's coming through the area, bands of lake effect snow. It'll continue tonight through tomorrow and then lasting all the way through Saturday. But by next week, we warm up once again like clockwork. So what we're going to do is we're going to end our special coverage here. Of course, we encourage you to check us out online anytime at WNYNewsNow.com. You can get to the weather section of our page just by typing in, just by going to our website and then clicking on the weather link at the top of the page. That'll take you right to the weather, weather section of our site, where you can get all the weather information that we post up there, and also the mobile app. If you don't have the WNY News Now mobile app, what are you doing? Get downloading it right now. Free, Android, iPhone. Every platform you've got, it's out there. Get it. Yeah, there you go. They put it on the super. Download our app. There you go. It's free. It's the best news app in the entire Southern Tier. Get it. And we keep you updated on that. So obviously, we're going to keep you updated on social media through the next couple of days. We will be back live right here at noon for News Now at noon. And should any major developments happen between then and now, we will, of course, come back on the air with coverage. So for now, I'm Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. For everybody at WNY News Now, have a safe afternoon and a safe night. We'll see you back here at noon.
This is a First Defense weather alert.